What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the HVAC Uncensored Podcast. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a couple of weeks. I apologize. I'll get into that here in a second. Had some computer issues. It sucks. I had to do what I had to do, but I'm back. Sorry about the delay. I appreciate all of you messaging me, wondering where I was and all that kind of stuff. I really, really do appreciate you guys. The two guests that I wasn't able to do, awesome people. I was able to get them rescheduled. So that is Blue On and Mr. Gus. I don't want to say his last name wrong, but two awesome episodes. So I'll be doing 3 total podcasts next week. They'll all be live, so make sure you're watching that. Tonight is an awesome one. We'll get into the guest in a second. As always, guys, you know I like to start off by showing love to those companies that show this podcast, make this podcast possible. So first and foremost is going to be my friends over at Yellow Jacket. As most of you know, I'm a second-generation HVAC tech. 20-plus years in the trade, but I always think back to those days working with my dad that I cherish so much. My dad always said your tools are an extension of yourself. If you buy quality tools and take care of them, then they'll take care of you. Most of the time, you only have to buy them once. Well, that brand I think back to is Yellow Jacket. They've been making quality products for 70 years and counting, making them right here in the US of A. They could have cheapened out and sent it overseas, but they chose not to. So if you're looking for a quality tools that you can depend on to get the job done, look no further than Yellow Jacket. Yellow Jacket has been trusted by my family for generations now, and we don't plan on stopping anytime soon. So guys, remember, 70 years of expertise built into every tool. Yellow Jacket, some of their new wireless stuff they have coming out. I should have some of it here soon to play with and show you guys. I won't go through a whole bunch of it, sitting here and scroll, but their new vacuum pumps are amazing. But their new wireless manometer, it is the only wireless dual-port manometer on the market. I thought I was just saying that, but I looked it up, and it's true. They are the only ones who make it. So check out my friends over at Yellow Jacket. Last but not least, guys, company cam. In this day and age, we have to be digital. We have to make sure that we're taking pictures of what we're doing. We're showing that kind of stuff to customers, and there's no better way to do that than to use Company Cam. The only app every HVAC company needs, Company Cam. Makes it dead simple to communicate, document, and problem solve with your technicians no matter where you are. Company Cam brings documentation, communication, and liability protection together in one simple, easy-to-use app for you and your entire team. Take unlimited photos and videos, share custom reports, create flawless before and afters, even communicate and share progress with property owners with galleries and project timelines, all from your smartphone. Company Cam, the only app every HVAC company needs. Check out companycam.com/HVAC Uncensored. You will get 14-day free trial to test it out. If you don't like it, then hey, move on. Didn't cost you a dime. But if you do, for being part of HVAC Uncensored Nation, they will give you 50% off your first 2 months. All right? So check that out. They're amazing. We've been incorporated. They've been letting me have a demo account and test it out. And it is really neat, some of the stuff they do. I've used every CRM out there, Service Titan, House Call Pro, Jobber. I've been in all of them. And their CRMs are dedicated to do a whole bunch of stuff. They don't focus on the picture capturing of the job. That's what they do, and I'm not going to lie, they do it pretty damn well. So take a chance. It's free. If it's not for you, it's not for you. 14 days for free isn't going to hurt anybody. All right? Enough paying the bills. Let's get on to the show. Let's see if we can click things. Sorry, people. We've had some issues getting all this stuff back. We're just not going to play the intro tonight on that because it's acting a pain. There it is. right. Well, I guess it's. Sorry, guys. I'm having technical difficulties tonight, so I'm just gonna go ahead and play this and get moving, so I can talk to my guest and not make him wait any longer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless the United States, and thank you to all those men and women who defend it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to the #1 rated HVAC podcast. If you're looking to grow in the HVAC industry, then you're in the right spot. Blue collar people talking about blue collar shit. Let's get better together. So turn up the volume, buckle your seatbelt, and let's welcome your host, Gil KV Jr.
What's up, everybody? Thanks. Bear with me on the technical difficulties tonight. Like I said, this is the first week back, but let's get on with this, guys. If you could please put your hands together and help me welcome. This is a funny story. This is the best podcast that you guys never heard. I had this guest on, and it was amazing. I didn't press record. We tried it again, and it wasn't fair because that first one was amazing. So I'm so happy that he's back. So everybody put your hands together for Mr. Stephen Dale from Power Selling Pros. How are you, sir?
Well, that last podcast we did, the greatest one that no one ever got to hear, it was all about creating that wow experience for the customer. And, that's one of the things. I've been with Power Selling Pros now for the last 7 years. And, in case anyone's curious, just a quick plug, and then Gil and I are going to get on to the business. But, we're a coaching and we're a training organization exclusively in the home services. So we work with heating and air, plumbing, electrical. And really, it's about creating that winning moment with the customer. It's going beyond just fixing it, but knowing that there's an opportunity to connect with that customer. And so, we provide training and ongoing coaching for technicians, CSRs, dispatchers, even in the leadership. So check it out, powersellingpros.com. That's the only little plug I'm giving. And now Gil and I are about to rock on, man.
Yeah, and it's awesome. If you guys don't know, obviously the one with Steven didn't air, but I've had also Brigham Dickinson from there. So, and I've seen him at a lot of conventions. So, I had the opportunity to talk with these guys a lot, and as far as what they do. So, definitely check out them. I'll make sure that in the show notes of this that I will have links to be able to get whatever you need, but it's definitely you guys should definitely check it out. I talk to you guys every week about being better and the communication part. I won't beat a dead horse, but this is another avenue, another way for you guys to be able to do that.
Well, yeah, think about it, Gil. I mean, the one constant thing in life that we can probably all agree on is change. And as I get older, I really resist change. I love my habits that I have, whether good or bad, doesn't matter. But man, change happens all the time. You've been through it. All of our technicians out there have gone through 2 years of hell with a pandemic, and everything went up and down. It was just nuts. And now we look at, new government regulations coming in 2023. We look at, supply chain issues, still trying to find inventory, and there's still a huge consumer demand. And I don't think that's going away at all, man.
No, I agree. And people are just finally, starting to get back out there and really spend money again too. Like they were, like a lot of families, like a lot of American families were hurting for a long time. Like, I talked to one customer who they were in a situation where they had to replace it, and they were like, we knew we had to do this before now. They were like, but last year when I got tax money, like it had to go in the bank. Like I had to put back money that we had to dig from, and people were in hard times. So I think things are starting to get back to a new normalcy.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? So we have to be there to make sure that we're providing, exceptional service to the customers. I always say that, people are buyers, they just don't want to be sold.
That's 100% true. But I do believe that people are opening up their wallets more. Systems, maybe they were band-aided for the last couple of years. But an interesting from the industry standpoint is we've all seen price increases. You saw one at the beginning of the year, and between us, man, they're coming again. There's going to be even greater price increases.
Oh, we just got another one May 1st, and I can't. So thank God I had a bunch of big jobs that I sold that they're not going in until after May 1st, but we were able to get the equipment before. So I was able to, not have to mark that up onto the customers and pass that on. So it's the nature of the beast, and people don't realize that. And not to get in some political talk, I would never do that on here, but all these different decisions, it's like when my prices go up or I get a price increase, I have to pass that on to the consumer. That's just the way business works. If I'm going to sell you a labor warranty and say 10 years parts and labor, I'm just using that for an example. If I don't charge accordingly, I won't be here in 10 years to give you that warranty,
Yeah. Yeah, it is across the board. I mean, we've seen gas prices and plywood prices, and go to the grocery store. I mean, it's hurting everybody because of the inflation, which brings me to a point. If we do have to increase our prices, you're right, to be profitable, then we better be delivering such a level of value and such an experience that it almost justifies, I mean, the price is still bad. It hurts. No one wants to spend 15, 20,000 on a new AC. Okay. But if we could deliver at such a level, and make it as painless as possible, right? Then I think that could be a winning combination to get that customer taken care of.
Yeah, I agree. And I know that there's, and I say this, and this is not directed towards anyone or like that, but a lot of these technicians out here, like I tell them, you can be the greatest technician, you can fix anything, but if you can't communicate that to the customer, then the overall experience isn't good. And I know there's a lot of guys out there that they're doing the right thing. They want to do what's right by the customer. They want to fix it. They just don't know how to communicate. But the thing is they don't know where to learn, because you see all of these social media posts, and a lot of people, they have good information, but they have big egos too. You know what I mean? So it's like people are scared, and that's why a lot of people come to me like, "Hey, should I go do this one?" Yeah, you should. Like I'll be honest, I have no reason to lie because I've been to most of them, and if I haven't, then I'll say, "Hey, I've never done that. I'm not sure, but I've heard good things." Because I think a lot of people are scared because just like customers, like are afraid to spend some money. A lot of these technicians are like, I know I need to get better. I don't know which one to do. I don't know if I'm going to waste my money, yada, yada, yada. So it gets scary.
Yeah, and you're right. And we saw a lot of those pop up, especially the last couple of the years. I don't know if it's to build their ego or what the case is. Not my place to judge, but they'll take your money pretty quick. And some of the stuff I've seen, they're going to teach you some tips and tricks on, how to manipulate the customer. And I'm like, man, that is an old way of doing it, man. If you will just serve that customer, have a conversation. If you notice they don't have any UV protection on that coil, or they don't have any surge protectors on their systems, or, not a start kit, man, if you see that, you should have a conversation. You're not selling them anything. You're simply becoming the advisor. And when you become that service professional and you become that trusted advisor, then when you do see something, you say something. It's still their decision, obviously, the homeowners, of course.
Yeah.
But if you don't bring it up, then they're never going to know about it, right?
Well, exactly. And that's what I say. Like, nobody's asked you to beat them up and take their wallet. But if you go out there, I always say this, and I don't want to feel like I'm beating a dead horse. I'm just so passionate about it because I want these technicians out there to make what they should be making, And it's, you go out there, and we've all had it, that customer, it's in the summertime. Oh, hey, Gil, the problem's outside. You never even go inside. You go out, you change the capacitor, you charge them the $250, $300, whatever your company charges. You leave. You think you did the right thing. That customer calls in 2 days later. My AC's not working, and Gil was just out here. Water's dripping on the floor. You never went inside, but you thought you were doing the right thing. So I'm saying sometimes we have to stop the mind fuck where we think we're doing the right thing, but really we're not. You know?
Yeah, that's really a disservice if we're not looking at drain lines, if we're not looking at the whole system as a whole, looking at it from a building science standpoint of, even if a customer said, hey, Gil, it's right outside, let's go there. Absolutely, I can definitely take a look at that. I'd also like to look at some other key components of your system just to make sure I don't miss anything. Because I believe in this industry, you have a responsibility. You really do. And you're right, it could be the capacitor, but if you didn't check that drain line, man, they call in 2 days later, I guarantee it, they're blaming you. Am I right?
Yeah, because people respect their time. So we make sure from the time that they answer the phone, when they call in, we answer the phone. If it's a maintenance, hey, we just want to make sure that you can commit from at least 90 to 120 minutes, or whatever it is. Because we're very thorough in what we do, and we just want to make sure you have enough time for it. They either say yes, no. The technician gets there, says the same thing. Hey, I just want to let you know I'm going to be here for at least 90 to 120 minutes. I just want to make sure you have enough time. Actually, I got to go somewhere. Well, hey, why don't we call the office and reschedule this? Because, I don't want to do this wrong. I want to make sure I'm thorough in what I give to you. People appreciate it.
Did everybody just hear what Gil said, man? Think about the consistency of creating the expectations you just did over the phone. It's going to be 60 to 90 minutes, whatever. Well, the moment you showed up at the door, hey, Mr. Gil, just want to let you know this normally takes 60 to 90 minutes. Are we good with that? And if not, we reset it, man. But think about that consistency. Now you've got the time. You got 60 to 90 minutes, man, to not only check that capacitor, check everything, right?
Yeah.
I love that idea.
Yeah, and people love that because, yes, it's a little bit longer than they may have planned in their busy schedule, but they're going to like that a lot better than you leaving in 30 minutes, and now you got to come back 2 days from now. Now they got to take off work a second day. They're pissed. They don't want to spend more money. You know what I mean? It's just the overall experience. Somebody put in Christopher Bates put in the comments. He said 26 weeks out on commercial equipment worries the shit out of me. I feel you, buddy. That's and I'm telling you, I really think, not to shift on topics here, but I really think coming summertime, shit's gonna hit the fan when it comes to equipment. I think a lot of these homeowners that wait till the last minute, well, they're going to be stuck with no AC because it's not that we're not going to want to change it. I think we're just not going to be able to get the shit to change it.
Yeah, unless I can put my hands on the equipment and say, yes, it's in stock because I have it right here. It's in my vehicle. And I don't want to scare a customer, but I'm going to educate them to let them know price increases are coming. We may not have the equipment. Your best bet is let's get this up and running today. Let's get it replaced, whatever the case is. It comes with a great warranty. I'm not going to scare a customer, but they need to be educated.
Yeah. They don't know.
Yeah. It makes sense, Christopher. That is tough. 26 weeks out, man.
Yeah, and these commercial things. So honestly, we had a commercial job that it's a long story. There was this church that I've known for years that even the last company I used to run, they would always ask for quotes. They'd never do shit. And it was like, so when they called in here, I was like, you know what? I'll go out and do this one. They're like, oh, we want to change this, this, and this. I'm like, yeah, sure you do. So I was like, yeah, it's going to be like 40 grand. I just threw a number out there because I didn't think they were going to do anything. Well, let's just say they called my bluff. They got a new landlord, and he was like, oh, 40 grand, I'll do it. I was like, oh, shit, man. Well, that's actually like a $57,000 job. So I had to deal with that, and I told him the truth, and he was like, oh, I understand. He's like, that makes sense. I was like, so, yeah, this is not a $40,000 job. But getting that equipment's a pain.
Yeah. Well, just thinking about pricing those jobs, and I know companies have to be priced right for profit, and I know that we have to keep, you just mentioned on May 1st, you got a price increase. So now we got to change our price books. It does create some stress for technicians in the field, whether it's replacement or repairs, being able to get the part, much less all of a sudden now the prices are, 30%, 50% higher. And we already was getting pushback from customers when we were selling 10 and 12 SEER.
Yeah.
So again, it goes back to what Gil was talking about is delivering the level of service for the price that you charge. Being that Chick-fil-A, whatever it takes, right? Serving that customer outside of price. I think that's, just looking at what's coming with government regulations, not so much in the north. I think you guys are going to stay around the 14 SEER, but, down south, I think we're jumping up to 15 SEER minimum.
Yeah, well, us in Maryland, we're considered the South region, so I think that we're gonna end up jumping up to 15 too. So we have SEER things that are changing. I know a lot of things around here that where they're doing away. Like I know like Lennox, we don't do that much Lennox anymore, but I know Lennox is doing away with their 14 SEER models. They're going to be gone. Because you used to have those occasional situations where you can get like a 14 SEER outdoor unit or AC or whatever matched up with a certain coil, and you would get an AHRI rating of 16. Well, we would do that for like budget jobs, and those people, you can't even get those anymore. Once they're gone, they're gone. I think a lot of two-stage equipment is going away. So refrigerant issues, so we can start getting into that, but we have a lot of things coming in 2023. I think your camera is frozen, Steven. I've tried to do some things on my end, and
okay. Let me check that out. Let's see what I can come up with.
Yeah, I was trying to do some messing around in the background.
You're so good, man. Let's see. Well,
at least it's a good picture. It looks like you're thinking really hard. Try something real fast. Return to green room, and then he popped out. That's not what was supposed to happen. Alrighty, everybody. So we will wait for Mr. Stephen Dale to come back in. I think I just actually kicked him out. Way to go with my first day back. Yeah, we'll get in that topic when Steven comes back on. Yeah, guys and gals out there, thanks for watching, man. I see some people out there. I think I saw Mr. Gary O'Connor on Facebook, Mr. Gene Slade. What is up, boss man? A-Team Adam from HVAC Overtime. What's up, brother? Mr. Isaiah was watching. What's up, little bro? Let's see who else was up here on these. Jose Santos. What's up, my man? And so thank you guys for watching. So, and then Christopher Bates, thanks for commenting, buddy. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's the last 2 weeks have been fucking miserable, guys. I won't even, let me switch to this single one. I won't even lie, it's been miserable. I had my other iMac that fucking froze up. It was on the loading screen, and I tried everything, tried to get it fixed. Wasn't happening, couldn't get it fixed, so I said, fuck it. Just like we're talking about supply chain issues, you can't go to the store and just buy everything right now. And I wanted, I'm going to stay with Mac. I'm a Mac guy. And I wanted one of the new Mac Studio things, and couldn't get the one that I wanted. It wasn't in stock, yada, yada, yada. Had to order it. I got a new monitor, and then all of my data didn't come over. So anyway, it's a whole bunch of things. So unexpected cost, and I had to get a whole bunch of new stuff and get it fixed. I got a whole new storage system, all kind of stuff, so this will never happen again. So that's why I was kind of MIA for 2 weeks. I was panicking, and if you'll notice, some of these things when I'm switching scenes, I had to go through and remake all of these because thank God I had enough of the stuff to be able to even make them, but they were all gone. So that's why some of them are messed up. And I didn't want to take another week without having a podcast. So I created enough of them to be able to get through a show. And then this week I'll mess with it and try to get them all back on there. So bear with me if there's any technical difficulties. Other than that, man, I hope everything's going on with Steven. I don't see the email. Everything was going good, and he froze there for a second. Steven is awesome, man. I really wish that I could have got that podcast out from a couple of years ago, because it was when me and Kelly were still doing the podcast together, and it was such an awesome show. Oh, man. He's in Dallas, and the power knocked his power out. All right, well, I guess we'll just hang tight. We'll see if he can make it back in, and we'll sit here and talk. If anybody's out there in the comments, man, you guys would like to chat. How is everybody doing? Well, hold on, Isaiah. Let me make sure that Steven can't pop back on, buddy. If he can't pop back on, then yeah, we can turn it into like a hangout kind of deal. Okay, buddy? I just don't want you to come on and then Steven pops in and then it's just kind of awkward or weird. You know what I mean? But if he tells me that he's not coming back on, I got you, buddy. How have all of you been doing? How are you guys looking in the summer? How is the weather where you are? I know so obviously you guys know I'm in Maryland. Last year, this time in Maryland, it was already like 90-something degrees already. And it's not now. So I'm getting a little worried about the weather. I guess I'm just I want to get into the busy season. I want to get into game time. Like, let's fucking rock and roll, chomping at the bit. Our team is ready. They're prepared. I feel like we had the spring training that we got them prepared as possible to get into the fucking playoffs, into the Super Bowl, and just kick fucking ass. And I just want it to happen. But we've definitely have one of the best teams assembled that we've ever had at Beltway. And I know I say that every year, but I feel like it's just kind of like general manager of a football team or a baseball team, or you're constantly trying to better your team. You're trying to put the best club on the field that you possibly can. Maybe it's with trades and draft, and obviously we don't have that in our industry. That would be pretty cool if they had an HVAC draft. I definitely would have been a first-round pick. Psych, I'm just kidding. But, we're constantly evolving, trying to move those pieces around to make your company the best that it can, where it's not just somebody that can sell, somebody can fix stuff, blah, blah, blah. You got to have that culture and build it all together. So we've had to move pieces around over the years. And I definitely think that we're at the best one that we've had right now. And we always constantly got to be better. I mean, in anything in life, guys, gals, you know this. No matter how good things are, they can always be better. And you have to think that way, because if you ever settle, you ever think that everything is good enough, that's when you start to go backwards. And I know that from personal experience, where I've settled for things in my life where I thought that, hey, I'm good, this is good enough. And then something stupid happens. So I try to stay hungry no matter what it is, whether it's, for my family, my personal life, business, for Beltway. I will fucking always stay hungry, and this dog will always fucking eat, and nobody's going to stop me. And I don't say that to be cocky. I say that that's just the mentality you guys have to have. So all you technicians out there, like, you guys think of yourself as that fucking star player, and your playoffs are getting ready to happen. Are you prepared? Did you practice enough? Can you field those ground balls? Can you throw those passes? Can you catch those passes? Whatever analogy you want to make, are you ready for game time? And if you can't look in the mirror 100% and say yes, then get to work, my man. Get to work. Whatever it is, communication. Like, some people think it's stupid. Like, I used to talk to myself in front of a mirror. I wish I brought my wife down here. She used to make fun of me, but I can't tell you how much that helped me. Or the role playing we would do in the office. And I used to always make excuses why I couldn't do it, and it was uncomfortable, and people would always be like, well, I can't do it in here, but when I go out to the customer, I can do it to the customer. Bullshit. I'm just being honest with you. Because if you can sit there and you can communicate to yourself in the mirror, you can do it to your colleague inside of your training room, office, whatever you have where you work, and you can do that 100% confident, you can get in front of any customer and feel confident in whatever you say, and how you present to the customer. I promise you that. So, yeah, I hope all you guys are out there doing good. You're prepared. You know, if you got your new tools, not to get into the sales pitch, but check out my friends at Yellow Jacket, obviously. And anything besides Yellow Jacket, I know everybody and their mom has a discount code now. But if you're going to do anything from True Tech Tools, remember you can use the discount code Uncensored and save 8% on your order. There's True Tech Tools and Mr. Bill Spohn and all them over there are so awesome that almost all of us podcasters, influencers have a discount code. So, whatever. If you can use Uncensored, I appreciate it. It helps me so they know people are using it. As long as you get your discount, I don't really care which one you use. But yeah, I'm just happy to be back, man. I miss this podcast and I love it. And when I don't do it, this is kind of like my release. You know, this is the kind of the fun I have. I am trying to make some changes to the podcast. So if Steven is able to get back on, I don't know if he's going to be able to come back on because, power, he knocked out his power. So we'll see. If that's the case, I'll have to reschedule with Steven to get him back on because he's always an awesome guest. But I forgot where I was going there for a second. I'll wait to hear back from him. So if you're still there, Isaiah, let's wait for him to get back on and then we'll go from there. But hopefully you guys are prepared with some of the changes that we have happening. 2023, we have a bunch of the SEER stuff is going to change. So I would look in your area. I know it's different from the South region to the North region as far as what they're doing. I think some are more dramatic than others, but the new refrigerants that are coming out. And with this one, like if you guys remember when we went from 22 to 410, everybody did it. Every manufacturer, all their new equipment came out with 410. Well, that's not the case this time. I know two of the refrigerants, it should be R32 and then R454B, I think it is. So R32 is propane. I'm pretty sure like anything like Daikin, Goodman, Amana is all going R32. I'm pretty sure Carrier, I know Carrier, I want to say Train 2, but I don't know that for certain, is going to be using R454B. So these manufacturers can pick and choose which one they want to use, which kind of sucks because now we're going to have to carry, well, and I mean, even if you install a specific brand, well, we're going to be servicing all of them for the most part. You would like to think if you put in a system that customer is going to be calling the people who put it in because of warranty, but at some point we're going to have, well, I hope R22 is gone by then, but let's hope that we don't. Yeah, that's right, Joseph. You're right. R290 as well. So it's going to be a bunch of them, man. It's going to be a pain in the ass, but there's not really much we can do about it. So sitting around bitching really isn't going to help anything. So just think, there could be a situation where we have R22 on our trucks, 410, 32, 454B, 290. We're going to start getting like refrigeration guys. And those 3-4 rack refrigeration tank holders aren't going to fucking help. It's not going to matter. So we'll see. I hear you, Adam. Adam, well, how do you feel, man? Because I know you still do the Amana stuff, right? Or are you doing more of the Bosch things now? How do you feel about having to deal with the propane stuff? What's your opinions on it, bro? Yeah, I agree, Joseph. If you guys don't see the comment here, I'm going to pin Joseph's comment on there. Get ready for propane. And I agree with you, buddy. I really do. And I'm not as worried about it as some other people. Like, people are like, oh, you're going to put that propane on top of a gas furnace and it's going to blow up? What? Well, even if the heat exchangers crack, the flames aren't shooting out. I mean, so I'm not worried about that. If it works, it works. I mean, as long as, you got to make the changes and you know what you're doing, I mean, it is what it is. And apparently it's an amazing refrigerant as far as what it does and its heat absorption and efficiency and stuff like that. So it's a good thing. I know a lot of us, we were talking about when Steven was still on here, a lot of people don't like change, but sometimes change is for the better. And to be honest, I personally think our trade, HVAC, in the United States, we're behind. We should be a lot further along than we are, in my opinion. Some people might say, you're a fucking idiot, Gil. What are you talking about? But A-Team Adam, he's on the Facebook side. So whether you're YouTube or Facebook, Adam is on Facebook. He is one of the hosts of the HVAC Overtime Show. So if you hear me say Adam and you're on YouTube, well, most of you guys know who he is. What am I talking about? He says he's getting sick of all the changes. I agree, man. But I feel like, what are we going to do about it? You know what I mean? Like, I got frustrated at first, and then it got to the point where it's like I got so much other shit to worry about. Why care? I mean, no, I agree with that. I agree with that for sure. So, there's a lot of people going to heat pumps. They're not doing a, gas. And it's funny because I've never had sales calls where people actually came up and most people, like, I've had people go from oil to heat pump and they've went like higher end heat pump and been happy. But normally if a person could have gas, they always did. Maybe they went with a hybrid system or dual fuel, whatever you guys call it. But they never said, oh, I don't want gas, I want to go heat pump. And I've heard that a lot more with customers. It's kind of surprising. So, but I do agree, Adam. I think that might be the future on where we're going. Like I said, my last house that I had to leave, granted, I couldn't have gas. It wasn't an option. It was all electric house. But the only thing, I had a propane tank buried for my generator. But other than that, it was all electric. And I had 2 of the Carrier Green Speed inverter systems in my house, and it was amazing. You would have thought that I had gas heat. I love those systems. I used to be a hardcore Carrier guy. Not that I don't still love Carrier, but I've tried to broaden my horizons. Where is Brian Orr? I don't know. He's probably in Florida at his house. I don't know, Adam. I don't, trying to think about it on a year. I would say in that house, all electric. So that last house that I was in was probably, I want to say, it was a bigger house. So I want to say that house was like maybe 4,000-ish square feet. Size is all it had going for it though. And I think here my utility bill for that house was like maybe $400 or $500 a month. But I did also have 4 kids, all the TVs running and all that kind of shit. So I don't think it was crazy. I mean, the house I'm in now, obviously I'm living in a rental until I get my other house. But this has oil heat, which sucks balls. But it has a nice 16-seer train AC on it. And my utility bill at this house is like fucking maybe $100. But getting the oil refilled is like bending me over and jamming it in the ass. That sucks. So, not that oil's not good heat, but the cost of oil is fucking, it's crazy. Yeah, I'm not sure, Adam, to be honest with you. Sadly, I never got to mess with those as much as I want. I mean, I hooked them up and, make sure they were all proper. And you know, I ran the ductwork for the attic system. And let me see, what do you think about it? I'll be honest with you, John, I haven't seen that. So it's been a couple of years. So the last company that I used to run, we were factory authorized carrier dealers, and I've only done it here and there. Here we've done Lennox, some Goodman stuff. We've done some carrier, but not that many. I didn't know that they had a micro channel V coil. That sucks. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of micro channel in general, so hearing about it, I don't know what to think, but I haven't seen it personally, brother. So I don't want to lie to you and give you my opinion one way or the other because I haven't seen it. So I think when I left and I came to Beltway and took my position here, I remember like some of the rooftop units came out with that blue, like their fans changed, where it was like that blue on the commercial units. I mean, yeah, I forget the name of it. I don't want to sound like an idiot. I forget the name of it, but it was that new motor carrier was using in their rooftop units. That little blue circle where the motor was like this. I remember like that had just came out. That was newer technology. Yeah, that was. Yeah, I hate fucking microchannel technology. I think it was dumb and like, I know York is one of the ones that they got sued out the wazoo fucking with that stuff. Yeah, I agree, Joseph. Some dumb engineers. What is up, Mr. Zeke? How you doing, brother? Well, we all know how it is, man. You get those customers that are engineers. I'm an engineer. You know, they think they know what they're doing. Well, it's the same. And I know those people serve a purpose and they're very good at what they do and all that kind of stuff. And that's awesome. But some of those designs may look good on a piece of paper or in a 3D rendering, but God damn it, it's stupid when it hits the street and we have to use it because it sucks. It's a pain in the ass. And I never understood how microchannel was supposed to, I don't know. I guess I would love to talk to somebody who really knows more than me about it. What is the upside of it? That's what I don't get. You can't use certain cleaners on it, so it's harder to clean. The refrigerant doesn't make as many passes over, I mean, most of the ones you see, it goes in once, makes its one pass and comes through, rather than having the distribution tubes. So I don't know. And like I said, I could be wrong. If you guys out there know, please tell me. Like I said, I'll never say that I know everything because I'm far from it. I just don't see where the upside is unless it's just the manufacturing cost. Because let's be honest, that's at the end of the day when it comes down to, I don't care what manufacturer that you stick with. Greater surface area for heat transfer. Yeah, okay. I got you, Joe. That makes lesser refrigerant charge. Okay. Gotcha. I never thought about it that way. Well, I mean, obviously it's still an issue because some people keep making that switch and coming back to it. I appreciate you saying that, Joe. Thank you, man. I didn't know that was the reason. I won't even lie. I have heard something about less refrigerant charge, but I didn't think about it in the greater surface area for heat transfer. I'm just trying to think why. Why is it a greater surface area efficiency thing? Yeah, it makes sense. Because to be honest, when these manufacturers make stuff, it is all about the manufacturing cost, which is what they look at. That's why some units, they change or up things to get the EER or whatever, the SEER, to be able to meet the specs that they have for the government mandates. And then, I mean, I know with Carrier, a lot of their units between the comfort and the performance line and different ones, a lot of them were the same fucking thing. just one would have a board or a start kit or something, and you would look on the cheaper units and see the same mounting spot for those parts to go. They just weren't there. They're just cutting things out. So smaller footprint. Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that. I worked for Ari Michaels and John Stone when Microchannel made. Oh, all right. Yeah. I guess Ari Michaels. I know what you meant, Joe. I appreciate that. I guess. So the company that I used to work for years ago, we had a company that we would. It was like a real fancy, high-end, like nursing home center near Washington, D.C. So, and it was very secured facility. It was called 3-tier security. And that's where like senators' parents go. Like if they put them in a home or something, like this is the kind of place that they put them in. Well, we had it worked out where they would buy the equipment and we would just provide the labor to put it in. And they would buy that fucking Artie Michaels air temp stuff, Joe, that you probably know what I'm talking about. And I don't know. I just had nothing but issues. So, and I'm not going to be ignorant and make a judgment of something. I will always admit that I'm wrong. But I had nothing but issues with Microchannel, you know, when it leaks. And it would just leak at goofy spots. Like it doesn't even look like you would think it would be a stress point, but it did. But that's just my personal opinion. I mean, like I said, I don't know. I hope that they don't make that change for everything in the future, but it doesn't really matter. They don't give a shit what I think, you know what I mean? So thanks, Joe. I appreciate that. Thank you, everybody. That's why air temp is crap. Yes, it is, man. Air temp is shit. And that's what I say. And I'll be honest, like I said, man, I was a Carrier guy for a long time. And if you tried to tell me that Carrier wasn't a good brand, I would fight you for it. But when I first came to Beltway and I saw that they sold Lennox and Goodman, I'll be honest, I was like, fuck no, why the fuck are we selling Goodman? This is bullshit. I'm not selling that shit. That's exactly what I said. And I'll be honest, dude, I got proved 100% wrong. You know, do I think back in the day that Goodman was junk? You know, yes. But I do think when Daikin bought them, a lot of things changed. And they, you know, I know at least the Goodman Supply House by me, they stopped selling to everybody. It's not like that Joe Blow's lawn service pulls up and he switches magnets and then puts Joe Blow's AC and goes in and gets a unit. Because let's be honest, we all know this. It's all about how it's installed. If it's installed properly, no matter what fucking brand it is, it'll work properly. The only brands that I will say I don't believe in would probably be an AirTemp or a Nordyne product. Because I think that they are pretty cheap and have issues. Other than that, I would say, unless you guys can think of another one, there's probably another one out there that I'm not thinking of, but it's probably in that Nordyne line that if you install it properly, the unit's going to work and do what it's supposed to do. I mean, it's, to be honest, and it's funny, like, you know, I don't do as much sales here because, you know, I'm the chief operations officer, so I run the everyday operation of the company, along with our GM and obviously Ryan, the owner. But a lot of times when you go out to customer's house and do the sales, they don't even ask you what brand. They really don't. I mean, every once in a while you get those educated customers who are like, I want a Tran, you know, I want one of them Tran units. Train? Oh yeah, that one. You know, or I want a Carrier. My uncle's cousin's brother had a Carrier and it lasted for 45 years, so I want that one. But most people don't care, you know. And not that I ever want to sell them a piece of shit. I want them to get what they pay for. But I definitely think that your installation, you know, processes, procedures, if you're purging with nitrogen and you're doing all those little things, I think that system will be fine if you're taking all the proper practices, regardless of the nameplate on the front of it. That's just my opinion. I remember handing out a reversing valve with every condenser we sold. Goodman. Oh, yeah, Joe, and I'm not saying that they didn't have their problems, because by all means they did. So they definitely had their issues. And let's be honest, everybody's had their issues, especially when it comes to, whether it was, TXVs or somebody had leaking coils and yada, yada, yada. So I definitely think that every brand, and to be honest, they're all having them now. So I think with COVID and stuff like that, and just be prepared, everybody, I think that we're going to go through hell this summer. I think it's going to be way worse than last summer. I'm just going to be honest. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I am 100% wrong, but I think it's going to be worse. I think that when shit hits the fan, we are not going to be able to get equipment, especially in the residential market. I don't do as much commercial. We've been kind of hit or miss, but Christopher Bates was on here earlier back in the comments. Let me see if I can find his comment. I think he said he was like 26 weeks out for commercial. Yeah, he said 26 weeks out on commercial equipment worries the shit out of me. Yeah, I bet it does, and it should worry the shit out of you, because we all know that some of those customers, those people are not going to replace their system. They're not going to do anything until it fucking breaks. It's got to be kaput, take a shit before they agree to replace it. And whatever, that's their prerogative, that's fine. But I think this year, those people that are like, yeah, can you put it in tomorrow? You're going to be like, I would, but I can't because the system, I can't get it for 2 weeks. And those people are going to be like, I can't be without AC for 2 weeks. It's going to be like, well, you shouldn't have waited till fucking July to change your system. I just think a lot of that is going to happen this year. And like I said, I hope I'm fucking wrong. I do. I hope I'm wrong. I just foresee that happening because I feel like ever since the whole COVID stuff, these manufacturers, the quality control process has went to shit because they're trying to just put it together, assemble that shit, get it out the door. Assemble it, get it out the door. And like I say, I think it's a manufacturing problem, not a manufacturer problem. So I don't think it's Goodman, Carrier, Train. I don't, because talking to people, it's happening with every brand. So I don't think that it's prone to one particular manufacturer. They're all doing it. They're trying to keep up with demand. They're all playing catch up. They can't catch up. So they're trying to get shit out as fast as possible. Ryan, yes. What the hell is the name of the fuck, I don't have mine. What the hell is the God damn it, man. Ryan Fong, give me a second, buddy, and I'll think of the fuck. If I have to look it up, dude, I will find it. Yes, there is one that I recommend that is amazing, and I would get the one that goes up to 650 PSI, and not that you ever would need it, but you can boost it up. It has the purge and the braze and all that kind of stuff on there. Let me see if I can find it here, man. Damn it, I cannot think of the name. I'm so pissed that I can't think of the name of that. If anybody out there can think of the name of those nitrogen regulators that, those adjustable ones on top that you turn the dial. I think I have my old one sitting back here too. I just don't want to get up and, I'm having a brain fart and I can't fucking remember it. Nitrogen regulators. Here it is. Western Enterprises. That's the name of it, Ryan. So you're gonna want this one. Let me see if I can. Yeah, Western, Zeke. See, I got it right before you said it, so it was still my idea, Zeke. See, you were late too, Joe. I got it out before you guys commented, so I still get credit. Just kidding. Actually, just so you know, I think my friends over at True Tech Tools have it. They do. So you can go use discount code Uncensored and save 8% on your order. Just fucking saying. Trying to help you guys out here. Don't say I never fucking gave you anything. Yeah, here, let me go into my screen share one, and I'll let you see it there, Ryan. Yeah, this one right here, bud. So they call it the Western Enterprises VN650. They make a couple of different ones. I want to say it's the one before that is like a 450 maybe. Oh, Joe said, oh, you got the 400. Look at 500. Let me see what the 500 one looks like. Let me go down and see if they have the other ones. Yeah, here it is. Here's the VN 500. So here, in case just so you look at that one real fast, that's the 650. I don't know if you have to. I want to say that this is the one that I got, even though I never needed to go up that high. Here, let me switch cameras so that I can go over here on the side. So that one says it's 167 bucks. That's not crazy. And then also, like I said, uncensored, get 8% off. Let's see what the other one down here is. Damn, it's not, looks like it's only like 10 bucks difference. So here's the 500, the VN 500 is 160. But if you look at them, they have the, the test, the purge, the braised, and off. And what's great about these is, if you guys can see this, you only got to turn them on hand tight. So you don't have to, you don't got to be cranking those motherfuckers with a wrench or nothing like that. You literally put it on. You can turn that black doll thing looking right there, this thing. You can turn it hand tight, and you're good. I highly recommend that one. That's what all of our guys had. That's the one. I haven't been in the field for quite a few years, but when I was, this is the one that I had. I had either the 500 or the 650. And I think I was like you, Joe. I bought one. I bought the lesser one. And some of the units that I needed to get higher pressure, I couldn't get it up there. I couldn't get the pressure up, so that's why I bought that one. Almost idiot-proof. I like how you said almost, Zeke. Because highest I've ever want is the 400 on a mini split. Well, there you go. Well, you're right to get to 400, but the reason that I say get the higher ones is because I think there's like a 350 or something. Sometimes it can't get up that high, but if you go to 400, the 500 would work for you. But to me, I think that's the best one out there. And I mean, it looks like everybody else said the same thing as far as what they were saying. These old ones, I think are a pain in the ass. I wouldn't use anymore. Yeah, they have a 250 one, but they're not. The price isn't that different. So the 250 looks like it's 152 bucks. The 650 is 167, and it's 160 for the 500. So, I mean, you're talking it's within 10, 15, 20 bucks. So, nah, you're welcome, man. And, I mean, I hope you get the right one. Like I said, I do like that one because the other ones that you had to keep it on, especially if you have something like if your tanks are banging around, like if you don't have a proper way to secure them. I know some guys that they take their regulator off after every time they use it, which, whatever, it's your prerogative, especially if you have to buy that and your company doesn't provide it for whatever reason. $650 it is. Good shit, man. And it's even cheaper. Let's look on there. Like I said, a bunch of people have them, but if you use uncensored at the discount code, Ryan, it'll also save you 8% as well, Ben. I know I said that joking around, but just so you know, seriously, if you do that, it'll save you 8%. But people would take them off and like put them up in a certain spot and they put it back on every time they used it. If you are like that, whether you like it or not, that one is so easy. You don't need to crank on it. You literally can just turn that black knob as tight as you can and it's good. Yeah, Joe, I think you're right because I think I had the 500. I had whatever the highest one was at the time, and now that you say that, I don't know if the 650 was out because I haven't been in the field in 6 years, 7 years. Not like all the time, so it's been a little bit. I still bought stuff at the last company because I would still go out and do things. I was going in the field too much, but I don't know. I have it back here too. I want to go back and look at it so bad, but I don't want you guys sitting here listening to nothing while I'm back there looking for a fucking regulator. How are all you guys? You all staying busy? Are you guys moving along at your companies? Anybody who's still watching, I just love to know, like, where are you located? Where, obviously besides Zeke, I know where Zeke is from. Where are you guys, what part of the world are you in? Dab the O-rings with a tiny bit of Vaseline. Well, that's good that you're slam, Ryan. Good for you, my man. Norfolk, Virginia. Nice. So you ain't that far away? I live right outside of Baltimore, so Norfolk, you ain't far. You ain't far at all, man. You're probably, what, 3-4 hour drive, if that? Are you up there by the Navy base? And Ryan Fong, do you work for somebody else, or do you work for yourself? Trying greenies. That's funny. Yorktown, gotcha. Well, that's good, man. I'm glad you're staying busy. We're pretty steady. I mean, we're the biggest we've been now. So, I mean, we have 20 plus 25 employees now. Yeah, we're ready. I think we've done, I don't want to say we've done enough preparation, because in my mind, you've never prepared or did enough. There's always something else you could do. But I think that we're on the right track. I'll just say that. I think we're on the right track to have a kick-ass summer. So, just so you guys all know, every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I will be back here doing the podcast live. If you weren't here earlier, the podcast iMac went down, and yeah, it fucked me. So I had to buy new stuff. I have a 49-inch ultra-wide monitor in front of me though, and this thing is fucking slick. Yeah, you put a pair of boobies on here, and it's like, oh my god, it's so. I'm just kidding. I don't watch that shit on here. But I love this fucking monitor. Now I have it where 49-inch curved, and then 227-inch curves that I had before, and it's like 180 degrees. It's pretty slick. Yeah, I think if I go to this other camera, you guys can see this angle. Yeah, see, you can see this side. So it goes all the way around. I like the little toys. I appreciate it, Joe. Thanks for coming out, man. Definitely come back. I'll be here every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook and YouTube. So I'm going to try to get more. I'm actually glad that I mean, not that I wanted Steven to drop out, because I wish Steven was still here, because he's an awesome guest. But I like having these sometimes where it's just me talking to you guys, and it's not a guest, and we can interact and talk about different things. And I want to get back to doing that kind of stuff more, because I created this podcast for technicians, man. That was my original goal. And I think as my career has developed over the time that I've been podcasting, that I've started covering different topics, as far as it's been things about business and stuff like that. And not that I want to help anybody in the industry that I can. So if I'm able to help you in any way, then cool. I want to give that information, but I want to get back to the nitty gritty when it comes to the technical stuff and helping the technicians in whatever way that I can. You know, yes, I know that there's people like, you know, Brian Orr out there at HVAC School, who is, you know, I've had the pleasure to meet him and his lovely wife several times. Awesome dude, and he's so fucking smart, and he's very good at the way he explains stuff. Mr. Craig, I can't say Craig's last name, and I don't want to mess it up, but AC Service Tech on YouTube, an amazing channel, a huge resource to be able to go and learn stuff. And I used to think, like, why would I make those videos? You know, those guys are so good at it. Why even compete with that? But I think I am going to start making some different YouTube videos. People ask me, and I'm like, okay, I'll make it. You know, maybe it's not going to be the best, most well-explained video, but if it helps at least 1-2 people, then I'm cool with it. You know, I don't mind doing it. And it helps me get better too, as I learn things as well. So I'll take it. But it's almost 10 o'clock here, man. I know we started late, so I won't keep it too long. I'll keep this nice and short because I knew everybody was coming. I mean, I didn't know if everybody thought that I was going to be here tonight, but I will be back. Podcast will be out every Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the video podcast. Like right now, the audio podcast comes out Monday, 9 a.m. I had a bunch of pre-recorded episodes that I was putting out that I lost all those too, so that sucks. I can't even put those out. The video versions are out, but I can't get the audio versions out. But next week, I'm kind of bumped up. So next week, I'm going to have 3 live podcasts so I can start to catch up and get all those ones back in the queue. Because it used to be whatever you... On Wednesday, when you watch the video podcast, the audio version of that would come out 2 weeks. And I want to get back to that because God forbid something happens and I'm sick or a kid's sick or work or whatever it may be. I have that little buffer zone. But the buffer doesn't help when the device that holds them goes so. But you live and you fucking learn. It is what it is. But yeah, man, I'll let you guys go. Hey, I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you for coming out tonight. I really, really do appreciate it. We had quite a few people between Facebook and YouTube. I didn't think it was going to be that many because I've missed 2 weeks, and I know that you all like consistency, so I apologize once again. Thank you for coming back. Please remember, if there's any certain topics that you guys would like to be covered, message me. You know, you can private message me on Facebook. Direct message me on Instagram. You can email me at hvacuncensored@gmail.com. I'll do my best to try to cover a topic of something that you guys want to hear. I mean, that's why I do these things. And if it's a topic that I don't or I can't speak intelligently about, or I don't think I can give you enough value, I will find somebody to bring on to cover that topic. Just let me know. Thanks, Jose. Have a good night, brother. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for being here. So, but I will let you guys go. My son had a baseball game tonight, and I literally got home at like 7:45, wolfed down a plate of food as I was coming down here, and because I wanted to make sure I was here for the guest. So, yep, glad to be back. I'll get all these scenes fixed up, get back to normal, get back in this groove, and fucking rock and roll. Blue on next week. Hold on a second. I will tell you guys so you know all of these guests that are coming on, just so you guys know real fast. So obviously we're going to get Mr. Stephen Dow to come back. So next week I have Mr. Brandon Dawson from Cardone Ventures. So you hear a lot of people talking about the different investments that Grant Cardone and stuff is making in our industry. I think that's going to be a good podcast, and it proved me wrong on what I thought. My good friends, Tersh Blissett and Joshua Crouch from the Service Business Mastery podcast interviewed them in Vegas at AHR, and it was a very, very good podcast, and it made me learn some things that I was like, man, okay, that's not what I thought it was. So I think it is worth all of you to hear what they're doing and what they're offering, at least so you can, get the information to make up your mind. Let's see. Then I also have next week, I have, one of the ones we're doing, Trinity Warranty. I have Mr. Gus. I can't say Mr. Gus's last name, so Gus V. I'm just going to say that so I don't butcher it. From Trinity Warranty Company. Awesome guy. Comes on and talks about a bunch of different things, HVAC. So he is going to be on next Tuesday. Then we'll have the actual regularly scheduled guest on Wednesday, which will be Mr. Brandon Dawson from which I just said. And then that Thursday, or what is that, the 19th? No, that'll be the following week. I was able to rebook the Mr. Peter Cities, Mr. Peter, CEO and chairman of Blue On. So that and the Mr. Gus from Trinity Warranty was the two that I wasn't able to do because of the computer shit. So thank God. If you guys are watching this, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys being so cool about that, having to cancel the show, and able to rebook and get you guys back on here so we can get some awesome content to provide to all of you. All right. I'm going to stop fucking raping your ear with unwanted information. Have a good weekend, people. Remember, I love you motherfuckers, man. I really do appreciate you guys. Remember, be safe out there. You know what I mean? Always make it home the same way you left. Damn, I went in too far in that. Make sure that you guys follow the podcast, subscribe on all the social media sites, whether it's Facebook. I know some people are kind of done with Facebook, and I can't say that I blame you. But any social media platforms that you do, if you could give us a follow, give us a like, I would really appreciate it. Kind of helps the algorithm, helps the podcast stand out. The only ones I really do is Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And if you could go to the Facebook page and, like the podcast page and also give it a review. I mean, just an honest review, then I would appreciate it. Hopefully it's 5 stars. If it's not, hey, whatever, I get it. But if you're going to go on just to be a dick to put some like 1 star, then, don't do that. I'd rather you say something to me first. But yeah, if you could do that, I appreciate it. I do have a lot of people have asked me about HVAC Uncensored merch. I have a website that is pretty much done, and it's built in. It's a store is built into it, because I'm not doing that where I buy t-shirts again and try to sell it. I don't want to be a clothing salesman. I really don't. I'm only providing merchandise because people ask for it, which I appreciate. Obviously, I love seeing people walking down the road, with a shirt that has my logo on it. I mean, that means the world to me. I appreciate that. But that's the only reason I'm doing it, is because people want it. And the only reason that's not done is because I got to finish paying for it. I'll be honest with you, because I just put out, a shit ton of money for this. So I got to get those guys the final payment so they can do that. I don't expect those guys to work for free. So that should be in the next week or so. That'll be up. And then that'll be a one-stop shop where you guys can get everything HVAC Uncensored related on that website. Videos, audio stuff, merchandise, blogs, all that kind of shit will be on there. So, all right, back to the ending. I'm raping your guys' ear again. Appreciate you guys. Yes, be safe out there. Remember to do those little things, guys. Set yourself apart, man. Set yourself apart from the next guy, the next company. Take your time. Be thorough. All right? If you worry about money, you won't make any. If you worry about taking care of the customer every fucking call you go to, it's funny. You end up making more money when you don't worry about it. I promise you that. All right? Take care of yourself. I love you guys. I fucking appreciate you. Remember, if I can help you in any way, hit me up. I don't know everything. I am far from a know-it-all. I don't know everything. But if I can help you, guide you in any way because of the resources that the podcast has, if I can't answer the question, I will find somebody else who can. If you're thinking about doing a certain training, a class, or whatever it is, message me if you're uncomfortable. I will just me and you talking. I have no reason to lie. I will give you my honest opinion on anything that you ask me. Yes, I think this is good. I've done it. I haven't done this one, but I've heard good things. Or, I've heard bad things. Definitely don't do that one. I will always steer you guys in the right way, just like when I talk about products. If it's not something that I would purchase myself, or if I would tell one of our technicians that works at Beltway to do, I won't tell you guys. I'm never going to steer you to spend your hard-earned money on something that I would not buy myself. That's why I've turned down a lot of money over the years in sponsors, because I'm not going to take money from people just to promote dog shit. That's why I love Yellow Jacket. I love Company Cam. I only stick with certain companies for that reason. I want to be able to sleep at night knowing that I'm offering you guys something that is legit, that I believe, that I stand by. All right? All right, enough of that shit. Have a good night, people. Have a good week, and I'll see you motherfuckers next week. All right? Peace.
Thanks for listening to the HVAC Uncensored Podcast. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or email us anytime at hvacuncensored@gmail.com. Now, get back to work. Shut this down. The views and opinions shared on the HVAC Uncensored Podcast may not necessarily be the views and opinions